Police top brass will be conducting an on-site inspection of the Moses Mabhida Stadium ahead of King Misuzulu kaZwelithini's coronation. The venue, which has the capacity to accommodate 48,000 people, is expected to be packed to capacity when President Cyril Ramaphosa hands over a certificate of recognition to the Amazulu monarch. Newzroom Afrika's Mngambi and Ziyanda Ngcobo are tracking the story and join us live now from Durban. Very good morning to you both. Xoli, we know that as you and I speak, the preparation is well underway. The chairs are being polished and dusted. Talk to us about some of the preparation and the expectations ahead of this massive event.
Well, the state of readiness, Mpo, was addressed by the Interministerial Committee led by Dr. Nkosazana Zuma, that's the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs at national level. She has already been in KZN for, I would say, about a week, and she was briefing alongside the Premier, and we were told in no uncertain terms that the state of readiness is exactly that. The province is ready to roll out the red carpet, in the words of the Premier. And so that then led us to pose various questions, in particular the security situation, Paul, that you speak about in your bulletin this morning, and that is that, yes, these terror alerts by the United States have been issued, in particular the Sandton area. You've already heard the President's misgivings. I'm not going to repeat that. But there are other activities, Paul, that are expected to take place during the coronation tomorrow. And one of the organizations, we understand, says it plans to do something, but we're going to try to understand exactly what it is that they are going to be doing, because now the South African Communist Party seems to be tracking back on what was initially reported as pickets that they were going to conduct against the presence of King Mswati III, whom they refer to as the autocrat who is not leading his people in a democratic fashion. Let's speak now to the KwaZulu-Natal Second Deputy Provincial Secretary, Obaba Ubheki Mbata, and he joins me now. Baba Mbata, thank you very much for your time. Let's start with what exactly your statement said yesterday about your unhappiness with the presence of King Mswati III in South Africa on Saturday. Do you want him here or do you not want him here?
We must first indicate that as the South African Communist Party, we are part and the leaders of the working class and the poor who will be gathering here tomorrow in the coronation of King Misuzulu kaZwelithini. And we also want to indicate that we are very much part of all this process, and will be part of the people who will be celebrating the coronation of the king. But what we had indicated in our statement is very clear, is that ourselves as the SACP, we are always working with international organizations where our majority of our masses are still oppressed and are unable to practice political activism, and the democratization of that particular part of our continent is still a necessity. Ourselves, therefore, as the South African Communist Party, we shall not enjoy our freedoms if Swaziland is not enjoying, the Eswatini people are not enjoying the freedoms that we are enjoying. Yeah. But we do want to indicate that there is nowhere in our statement where we had indicated that we will be protesting outside Moses Mabhida Stadium, where we shall also be part of this August occasion of the coronation of King Misuzulu kaZwelithini tomorrow. What then is important?
Let me quickly step in there, because you're saying you're not going to be conducting any protest. That's not what your statement said. But perhaps let's tell the viewers exactly what your statement said. And I'm going to quickly pick the areas that I deem to be of interest. You say, and I quote, "We will enhance the serious stance we have adopted against the autocrat." Let me jump to another interesting statement where you say, "Working with progressive forces, we will embark on a visible program against Mswati's attendance." A visible program. What does that mean?
That would, in our explanation, we were in that particular broad thrust of the program, of the statement, and the thrust of the program was clear that we will working with other forces going in future, as we are currently doing. We have been part of all the protests in the borders of Swaziland.
Are you conducting a protest or not? It's a simple question.
In and around Moses Mabhida, there is no mobilization of the masses against the arrival or the presence of King Misuzulu. We have indicated that we are raising discomfort with him. We are raising some discomfort with him.
How are you going to raise the discomfort?
It's easy, Xoli. It's easy. As we have said in the statement, we are uncomfortable, and the programs of actions that we have always had, these are the programs of action that we were referring to, but not necessarily that shall be around Moses Mabhida Stadium. We want to put this categorically clear that was misunderstood and distorted in the social media by those who might have thought that we are going to be conducting specific protests around Moses Mabhida. We wanted to clearly state that as the Communist Party here in KwaZulu-Natal, we shall be part of this August occasion, and any other mobilization that we can talk about is the mobilization of our people so that they can attend our rally at Mzimkhulu on the 6th of November, where we shall be having a main rally for our Red October campaign.
Debbie, thank you very much for your time. All right, so that mobilization is only in November, not for this particular event.
This mobilization for our national rally for the Red October campaign, which will be at Mzimkhulu, and indeed, we are inviting our masses to be part of that. Tomorrow, we will be part of this August occasion as the people of KwaZulu-Natal, because we are going through a powerful transition where it will be a reflection of the unity of our people.
Let's end it there. Thank you very much for your time. Bheki Mbatha is the Secretary of the South African Communist Party in KwaZulu-Natal. Well, let me throw to my colleague now, Ziyanda Ngcobo. Ziyanda, I know that a little earlier, as I move out of shot, there were some police officials who were gathered. In fact, I can see with the corner of my eye that they're actually right next to you at the moment. You're going to be attending that media briefing that will be addressed by the police minister. What's the situation right now?
Exactly, Xoli, and those men and women in blue are already standing by, waiting, of course, for the police minister, Bheki, who will be flanked by his National Police Commissioner, Fani Masemola. They'll be here any moment from now. They're on the pitch, and of course they'll be conducting then and outlining the operational plan for tomorrow. 48,000 people is the amount that this particular venue is able to actually capacitate, and there's been a call, Xoli, from Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi that if possible, rather watch the proceedings taking place tomorrow from the comfort of your home, so as to not have an incident where the events of tomorrow, the significance tomorrow, the ushering of a new era, really, Xoli, being overshadowed by any sideshows, eventualities such as a stampede. As I speak to you as well, the service providers are actually very busy. The stage is already set. That momentous occasion where President Cyril Ramaphosa hands over the certificate of recognition to King Misuzulu kaZwelithini will be taking place on that stage. Many dignitaries are expected to also land in eThekwini from this afternoon, from all parts of the continent and the rest of the globe. It's going to be a momentous occasion, and as I speak to you, you know, the winds of change quite literally are engulfing this Moses Mabhida Stadium, and you'll know that in Zulu mythology, wind and rain are a good omen, not only for the king, but also for the occasion that involves the king of the Zulu. It means that the ancestors of the Amazulu nation are here blessing this particular ceremony, and in fact, it's one of the key signs to show that this occasion is likely to go ahead without any incidents if Zulu mythology is anything to go by. So insofar as the security plan is concerned, the police minister is the one who will be responsible for that. The head of state, President Cyril Ramaphosa, is one person we understand and know will be here, but so is former President Thabo Mbeki and Jacob Zuma, understood to be amongst those who are confirmed to be here at the stadium tomorrow. So certainly a moment that many will have never experienced before, unless you were at the coronation of King kaZwelithini in 1971. What will the king be wearing? What will his mood be like? Amabuto, which part of this stadium will they be entering in? All these logistics fall under the ambit of Police Minister Xoli.
We leave it there for now. Ziyanda, Ngcobo and Mngambi giving you the very latest ahead of the coronation, the build-up to the coronation of Zulu King Misuzulu kaZwelithini.